So some new data mine leaks just dropped for Battlefield 6 on Reddit, showing what looks like the return of Levolution for the next game, but with a little bit of a twist. So we're going to break all that down. I'm going to show you guys the leak in just a second. And then after that, I did want to talk about my opinions on Levolution as a whole, and if I think it's a good idea for the next Battlefield game. Because although I think it's a very visually impressive and immersive aspect of Battlefield 4, I do think that Levolution can be done wrong and sometimes ruin a match or become a distraction, but there's a lot to cover, so let's get straight into it. Really quick though, if you are enjoying the content around here, make sure to hit that like button. Look, I know everyone says that, but it does truly help me out a lot. And if you want more Battlefield videos, make sure to subscribe because it's only Battlefield here, man. Okay, the only game I care to talk about. So if you enjoy that, stick around while we wait for the new game. Okay, so literally like an hour ago from recording this video, this new data mine leak was posted to Reddit titled BF6 Key Events on Maps / Cinematic Destruction. Some remind me of Levolution in BF4. And I'm gonna show it on screen right now, but this is looking pretty cool, man. Again, it's not confirmed that they're going to call this system Levolution in the new game. As you'll see in the leaked game files, the developers are calling this new thing Key Events, which immediately makes me think that this is going to be closer to the in-game events that we see in games like the finals, if you've ever played that, where about halfway through the match, usually there's some kind of event that is triggered to alter the flow of the map, like an asteroid strike or like a UFO invasion. I doubt there's gonna be UFOs in Battlefield 6. I guess who knows, right? But you get the point. Some kind of match altering event. And it seems like they're all connected to different maps, with the first one being the map Battery. It appears that the key event for that map is a sort of artillery strike, which we haven't ever seen a scripted artillery strike in a multiplayer match of Battlefield before, if I remember correctly. I'm curious if that's going to be a map-wide kind of key event or Levolution, you know, or if it's going to be more team-based. So for example, if one team is losing and they capture an objective, are they going to get rewarded with an artillery strike on the enemy team? Or is this just going to be, in general, just pure chaos and destruction across the whole map? Which I kind of think that's what it's going to be, but we'll just have to see. It is strange, though, because in the leaked gameplay of the Battery map from earlier, you could see a wildfire raging in the distance. So a lot of us kind of assumed that the fire would be some sort of Levolution event. And I guess it still could be, but an artillery strike is what has been found in the files. So again, we're just going to have to wait. But that is an interesting point. It's not wildfire, it's artillery strikes. The next one would be for the map Capstone, which based off of previous leaks is supposedly located in a mountain range of Tajikistan. I'll throw a picture up real quick of the concept art for this one, but this key event is titled Landslide, and if you take a closer look, you'll notice that this key event is different than the previous one in that there seems to be 3 stages to this event: start, temp, which I don't know what that means, and end. Now, that could be simply due to the fact that they are still developing the game, so maybe the key event for Battery, the previous one, isn't finished yet, and that's why there's not 3 different stages. But what it looks like is that these key events are more like Levolution events, but with multiple outcomes. And it's tough to say if these are scripted or random or maybe player controlled somehow, but regardless, a landslide would be fucking dope. And it would make a lot of sense on a map with a huge mountain range like this. Like, I wonder if the landslide would create a bunch of new cover or maybe even a new flag, possibly even destroying an existing flag or buildings. But yeah, I am super excited to see how that would look in a Battlefield match. The next key event is for the map Aftermath, which we have all speculated is one of the maps located in New York, and it's called Building Collapse. This one is super intriguing to me because it appears that this building collapse has 2 different directions attributed to it. There is a building collapse east and then a building collapse west. And my guess for what that means is that there's like a central building or possibly skyscraper that's going to collapse in this map, but depending on the destruction done to the tower, the building can fall in 2 different directions, which would be cool because that way it wouldn't just be like the Levolution event from Siege of Shanghai where it's the exact same outcome over and over. Like, there would be more possibilities to this key event, which could create new lanes of gameplay or affect different flags depending on the way it falls. So I like that. It's kind of just spicing up the classic Levolution that we're used to by varying the, different outcomes and how it could affect the map differently depending on the way it falls. It's super cool. And with that being in a New York map, I'm super curious to what actual building they are referencing that would be destroyed. This is probably going to be our new Siege of Shanghai type map for this game. And some guys on Reddit are speculating that this could also be a key event for the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know, because it's called building collapse. I mean, I guess the Brooklyn Bridge is a building, right? It's I don't know. We'll just have to see. The next one is Abyssid, which is the map we all saw from the first round of leaked gameplay and the Battlefield Labs trailer. But it doesn't appear to have a key event quite yet. I'm almost positive there's going to be one, but they just haven't developed it yet or didn't include it in the Battlefield Labs build of the game. It'd be kind of weird, in my opinion, to have certain maps have key events and certain maps not have key events. We'll see, but I almost have a feeling they're going to use this a lot for the marketing of the game, and it would just be kind of weird to exclude certain maps for no reason, And to this point, they say currently everything is set to 0, which means these key events are turned off for the Battlefield Labs build of the game. That's why we haven't seen any of these events in the leaked gameplay that's been coming out. And I think that is because they are saving this for the marketing of the game, because although these leaks have been like super cool, revealing everything about your game through leaks online before officially revealing the game with an announcement or reveal trailer would be pretty anticlimactic. Like, that kind of makes me think of Skate right now, like the new Skate game. It's almost like no one cares anymore about that game because the whole game, like, I don't know, it's just been taking way too long to develop, and we've just been seeing so much gameplay for it that now we're kind of just numb to it. So I almost guarantee you they're holding this back from even the players in Battlefield Labs so that they can use this to generate even more hype for the game with the official reveal. And then finally, there are some more key events that they found that are not linked to specific maps at the moment, which are, number 1, Pipeline Explosion, which we're going to focus on this one for half a second because this makes me think of Bad Company 2's map Port Valdez, if you've ever played that, where there was a transatlantic pipeline that you could blow up. Again, this would probably be on a much bigger scale in this new game, but interesting that there's yet another nod to Bad Company in this game files. It's I don't know, it's interesting, man, but I digress. The next one is called Shockwave. Not really sure what that would be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below what Shockwave could be. Maybe like an EMP strike. I'm not really sure. Tunnel Flood, low and high, so different water levels, I'm guessing, for that key event. Tower 1, not, I'm guessing just another tower falling down. Power Fail. Round Hazard, not really sure what that is either. And then these final ones appear to be connected to the map for the Battle Royale game mode, which is Marina Flood, Tech Explosion, which matches earlier leaks mentioning some sort of tech center area for the Battle Royale map, Storage Fire, Shrink Ring, which just means, the shrinking ring of the Battle Royale. And then these next final 2 are single player, it appears. It's called G-Haul, Goal, I don't know, and then B-Dam. So I'm guessing those are more like scripted events for the single player, but I have no idea what that means. And one final last bit here, the key events seem to be triggered in 2 different ways. So one is player activated, which requires one or more specific location / trigger point, or by chance with the frequency of the key events probably being adjustable via server side values like the tornado from 2042. So yeah, this is super exciting. I'm definitely curious to see how all of the key events play out in each different map. And I also wonder if they're gonna call this Levolution or Levolution 2.0, or if key events is going to be the new marketing buzzword for the game. I don't I think they could do better than just key events, but honestly, it ultimately doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But what do you guys think about this? I know a good section of the player base weren't huge fans of the Levolution in Battlefield 4 after the game came out, and I get their point. I feel like we all thought it looked cool. In fact, there's probably nothing that is cooler looking in a Battlefield game than the building collapsing on Siege of Shanghai. But after you got past the bells and whistles of the Levolution, was the actual gameplay itself affected negatively by the Levolution? And I know some will argue that once the skyscraper gets destroyed in Siege of Shanghai, the map kind of sucks, and I can agree kind of to a certain level. I do like the close combat aspect of fighting in the rubbled area, but what always was disappointing to me was I never felt like I could even have a chance to fight in the skyscraper, because within 10 minutes of each match, that's literally the first thing players would do is trigger the building Levolution. And it kind of leads me to another point where I believe sometimes the Levolution can be kind of distracting. I feel conflicted here, right? Because my point is very nuanced. On one hand, I really do love the visual and immersive aspect that Levolution provides. Like, I don't want it to go away. But on the other hand, when you give all the control to the players, it becomes a distraction from playing the objective if it's not done right. Because sometimes you'll have a dude on your team who's in a tank just focusing on destroying the dam in Linkhang Dam or the pillars of the Shanghai Tower, while simultaneously your team is losing flags because the enemy team is focused on playing the objective. So you're kind of getting screwed over by your own guy, you know? And I actually like the idea of a more randomized event system where the game determines the Levolution event randomly. So it's more of like a surprise to everyone instead of a triggered event. But also I'm conflicted because in no means am I trying to take away from giving the players the control to determine these events, because I do think having the player feel like they triggered a huge destruction event is very appealing and immersive. Yeah, it's just tough. Like, I don't know how to feel about it yet. I am excited. This all sounds really fucking cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-Levolution at all. Like, if they're gonna put Levolution in this game, fuck yeah. I just feel like I'm fence sitting here a little bit because I just want to make sure it's done correctly and it's not a complete distraction from the gameplay. But honestly, it's just tough to know until we play it. I'm curious to hear what you guys think though. Did you like the Levolution from Battlefield 4, or did you kind of find it annoying? I think it can be done right personally, but also it can be implemented wrong and become distracting. Let me know in the comment section below though. I would love to read your opinions on the matter. But that's gonna wrap up the video, man. We keep finding out more and more cool shit about this game, and I am genuinely excited to finally get my hands on this thing. It seems that a new Battlefield Labs playtest with a brand new build of the game will be happening this upcoming Tuesday on the 15th, which is apparently going to include some kind of air vehicle combat. So curious if we will see some leaks with that. So yeah, check those emails, cross your fingers, man. Hope that you get in. I wish you luck. I do appreciate you making it this far in the video though. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave me a like if you are so kind, and subscribe for more Battlefield content up to the release of Battlefield 6 and beyond. But until the next video, my name is Sam. Hope you have a good one. Bye.